Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. So I know that it's been a while. I did take a break, but I'm back. So today's reading is titled, What Planetary Energies Do You Currently Embody? And I do want to say something before we get started. I do live at the end of my hallway, and you might hear like the door shutting this downstairs because even though it's downstairs, you can hear it. So if you're hearing any background noises or if you're wondering like what's that slamming noise, it is just the door. So please, like I always say, just disregard it, okay? So yeah, today's reading is going to be fun. It's something I've never done before, but I'm really into like the planets and astrology, so it was something that I was really excited about, and you already know. Share my screen. Yes, and I'm still continuing on with my Janae Aiko theme, okay? Okay, so yeah, what planetary energies do you currently embody? I'm gonna be down here so you all can see that. Okay, so I have three piles for you to pick from. Got tongue twisted, and you're welcome to pick more than one, okay? I'm gonna give you all a second to pick, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with pile number one. Okay, I'm just putting on the meditation. I love to have on meditations in the background when I'm doing a reading. It just helps me tune into the energies more. Like sound for me is it's just like that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started with pile number one. So if you picked pile number one, this is going to be your reading. So let's see. So pile number one, what planetary energies do you currently embody? So pile number one, you're currently embodying Mercury, Luna, and the sun. So Luna is the moon, okay? So with these three energies, what I get is that you're talking more about your feelings. You're being more honest about your feelings. I feel like this is the energy of a person that could start a podcast talking about something like deep, maybe talking about like, for example, generational trauma or what it would be like to be at an HBCU versus being at a PWI, because it's given somebody who wants to talk a little bit about, even though Aquarius energy isn't showing up, it's given somebody who could talk about political things, but also about emotional things like how intersectionality impacts people through their race, their gender, their class, their sexual orientation, and things like that. Like, I feel like you're talking about deep things. And I feel like with the sun being there, it's like shining a light on things that are hidden, shining a light on things that are not talked about. So you could be shining a light on emotions that you've hidden from yourself, and you may be journaling this right now. You could also just be speaking this out to other people, or if you have a platform, just expressing your emotions, okay? So this energy is manifested through Cancer. So this is all just symbolism, okay? Because you don't have to be a Cancer, but that is how this energy is manifesting through Cancer energy. So with Cancer energy, this is like the past. So that's why I was saying that this could be somebody talking about like generational trauma, because that deals with the past. But also Cancer deals with our emotions and our feelings. So that's why I was getting and picking up on someone speaking about their feelings and just being more introspective and being more honest. Okay, I feel like you're stepping out of an energy of being passive aggressive, because Cancer energy is passive aggressive. And it's like you're stepping out of this energy of being passive aggressive and becoming more aware of your emotions and not lying to yourself about how you feel. So if you get a weird vibe from somebody, pile number one, you're no longer doubting that. You're no longer questioning that. You're like, you know what? That's what I felt. That I'm not going to lie to myself. Like, I'm not going to present myself an illusion when spirit already presented to me the truth, the fact. facts. So you're reviewing the facts now instead of going based off of what your heart feels versus what your intuition is telling you, okay? So it's manifested through Cancer energy, also through something with the home. Okay. So you could be renovating your home, getting a new home, trying to manifest the home, redecorating, or just staying more at home, becoming a homebody. Okay. But yeah, that was just the channel messages. Okay. So we're going to get more into these cards and you can just read from here. I just put this on here so you could read if you want to learn more about like planets and things, but this is still channel messages. Okay. So let's start with how these energies, these planetary energies, let's start with them. Sorry, y'all, this meditation keeps getting louder and louder. I guess that's a good sign. So I'm trying to turn it down so that it's not overshadowing the reading and overshadowing my voice. So yeah, these are how these planetary energies are affecting you. So you have Mercury, you have Luna, and you have the sun, and it's expressed through Cancer. So I'm also getting here that you could be distributing like roles with your partner. So this doesn't have to be like gender roles. This could literally be like telling your partner, okay, I'll do this if you do that. Like you're learning like teamwork with a partner here. That's what I'm getting, because the sun and the moon is like that divine feminine and divine masculine energy. So coming into a balance, and divine feminine and divine masculine energy to me doesn't have anything to do with gender. I'm primarily speaking on it in terms of energy. So the energy of divine masculine is giving, the energy of divine feminine is receiving. So you're learning how to give and receive, okay? And with this Cancer energy, you're just learning like using your wisdom and discernment to give to the right people so that you're not feeling resentful if somebody is not showing up for you or giving to you in the same ways that you've shown up for them or given to them, okay? So yeah. So those are those planetary energies, okay? And some of you may resonate with this because you may be an actual Cancer, or you may be, because the sun rules Leo, you may be a Leo. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. You may be one of those signs, but if you're not, just take what resonates, okay? So I have some new tarot cards, and they're like the really cute kinds. So let's get into these. So these cards are going to show us how is this energy manifesting, okay, through that Cancer energy. So it's manifesting with the Hangman. So you're seeing your emotions from a different perspective. Now, number one, I feel like you could have grown up in an environment where emotions were seen as a weakness, where people would make fun of you for having emotions. And some of you literally could be in your 30s right now, and you're realizing just how much you've repressed. So a lot of you could be literally experiencing like childhood wounds coming back up because it's things that you thought you healed with this Hangman, but you're seeing it from a more gentle and compassionate perspective. I feel like some of you could have had harsh parents or just had a harsh inner critic where you spoke to yourself in negative ways because of what you were feeling, leading you to suppress what you were feeling. Some of you could have even developed some health issues because of holding in emotions, okay? Take what resonates. Okay, so the next card that we have here is the Tower. So the Tower is here because you're letting go of these false narratives, especially when it has to do with emotion. You were taught that feeling emotions is wrong, but you're learning that you have to feel your emotions. Your emotions are something that you have to treat your emotions like food. Like one of my favorite analogies is like, think of your emotions literally being like a refrigerator with food, right? If you keep certain foods in there past the expiration date, what is going to happen? It's going to expire. And after it expires, it's going to have a smell. It's going to have a scent. It's going to leak onto other food. It's going to spoil other food. It's just going to have this nasty smell, this nasty energy. So it's the same thing with our emotions. When we just have them sitting there, we don't check on them. We don't throw them out. We don't review them. We don't feel them and heal them. It's like it creates this expiration where it's like, it's leaking everywhere. And although you may not physically see it, you're going to feel that on an emotional level. It's like having spoiled milk. You're going to smell that spoiled milk, or if you pour yourself a bowl of cereal, you're going to taste that spoiled milk. So you're going to have a sensation of this feeling either way. So it's like you're learning that I have to let go of what my parents taught me and what their generation taught me. I feel like some of you may have struggled to let go of like that old school teaching. Okay, so I could be talking to people who are millennials. Like you've come from backgrounds where it's old school teaching and you're learning like, no, that's not working. Some of you could even be investing in like gentle parenting or doing gentle parenting on yourself because you didn't get that. Okay, take what resonates. But it's like you're letting go of these old narratives that don't serve you. And you see the home here, like I was saying, I feel like a lot of you are healing from generational trauma here, okay? With the Knight of Wands here, it's like you're taking action to let go of something. I feel like you're taking action to let go of these generational curses from the past, things that plague you and your family. Like you're letting go of that. And you're trying to create new narratives, new healthy narratives, where there is a balanced relationship between the mother and the child here. Because for some of you, you could have, you know, not so much a good relationship with your mother, or you just see that dynamic with certain family members, like there's not really a good connection between mother and son or mother and daughter or father and son, father and daughter, vice versa. It's like you don't really see the love being shared, and it's like it's because of these generational curses. So some of you, I feel like I'm talking to some people that are part of the African American community, the Black community, because I'm picking up slavery. So some of you could be dealing with issues in your family that literally stem from slavery. And I feel like if this doesn't apply to you, let it fly. But for those of you that this does resonate with, that is what's going on. Because for some of you, you could also be having experiencing like colorism in your family, just little things like that that are taking place. And there's something with the hair. So you could come from a family member that, I mean, not a family member, but you could come from a family line where there's self-hate with hair, self-hate with skin tone. So if you have a darker skin tone, you were treated differently, or if you had a different hair texture or a kinkier hair texture, you were treated differently. Some of you could have 4C hair here. If you know what I'm referring to in the natural hair community, it's like there's something with that here because sun rules the Leo, Leo rules our hair. If you Leo doesn't rule our hair, but you know what I mean. If you know Leo energy, it emphasizes hair. And if you know Leos, they usually have big hair, but if they don't, there's something like very eccentric or just eye catching about their hair. They can have big hair or like colorful hair, or just really nice hair. And it's like there could be something in your family that you're healing surrounding your hair. You could be going natural, doing the big chop, okay? Take what resonates. But that's for some of you. But I feel like for others of you, if it's not slavery, it's just coming from, patriarchal type of families where the men ruled, coming from racist families or coming from, homophobic families, it's the energy of that. Like you're transcending that, you're healing that. So the next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. I feel like you're showing yourself so much love. I feel like you were exposed to some truth that really just let you know that the things you went through as a kid was not your fault. I feel like you spent a lot of your adult life blaming yourself for things that really weren't your fault. So you could have been blaming yourself like why you and your parents don't get along. Like it's not your fault. Pile number one, like I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's really not your fault. You can't be responsible for what your parents should have been doing for you. That's not your responsibility. You were their responsibility. They were not your responsibility. I feel like some of you here you could have still taken care of your parents even though they didn't take care of you here. But you're learning that you deserve love. You're learning that you deserve to be cared for, and you're making peace with that. Because I feel like you thought that the reason that you didn't get love as a kid was because of something about you, where you could really think like something's wrong with you. It's nothing wrong with you. Okay. You didn't get the love that you deserve because, you were surrounded by people who weren't taught love because all these generational curses are repeating. So it's something like tough love. In my family, I used to hear that it's tough love, where it's not really an affectionate love, but more of a disciplinary love where you get in trouble more than you're praised. And I feel like that's what has taken place, but you're healing from that. Okay. We have the Strength card, and Leo energy is connected to strength here. Okay. So you've endured so much, but you still have kept going. And Leo energy is making me think of the heart as well. So you still have a good heart despite the hardships that you've been through, okay? The next card that we have is the King of Pentacles. I feel like you're learning to be more selfish with your money. I feel like some of you could have had parents that took money from you. You could have had parents that said, "Oh, I'm going to pay you back," and never paid you back. There's something here with the parents, okay? Because it's like they took something from you and didn't give it back, so you're learning to be a little bit more strict with your resources here with the King of Pentacles. You're being more selfish with your resources, and it's not in a negative way because you need your resources. That's why you're learning to balance giving and receiving, pile number one, because you tend to overgive, okay, and you under receive. That needs to be matching. You can't be giving 100%, 99% of the time and only receiving 1%. No, okay, it's 50-50, okay? The next card that we have is Four of Swords. So right now you're learning to be more at peace. The Four of Swords, like it's connected to the fourth house. The fourth house is ruled by what? Cancer. So you're staying in the house more, or some of you could be, trying to heal a relationship with your mother, or healing relationships with women in your family. Okay. That's how this energy could also be being expressed for those of you that resonate with that. With the Four of Swords, it's like you're wanting to be more at peace with yourself. You're not trying to talk crazy to yourself anymore and treat yourself mean. Like you're learning the art of being kind to yourself, pile number one. And I love that for you, because I promise you, it is hard, to be kind to yourself. But over time, the more that you practice it, the more that it becomes normal and a part of your everyday routine. Okay. So I'm proud of you. Okay. Pal number one, it's hard, but to do something like that takes a lot of courage. Okay. So let's get into these final cards for you, pal number one. So, how is this energy being expressed? Look what we have. Leo. We have the sun, we have the strength card, Leo. So this energy is being expressed through you being more confident in yourself because you're healing. You're learning that these identities that you used to associate yourself with, that was never you. Those were projections that you took on because of the people you loved. I feel like your family has caused you a lot of pain, pal number one. But you're rising above that. You could feel like the black sheep in your family. You could be the one in your family that's woke and that's really knowing what's going on in the world. And they could try to paint you as like the weirdo. You could be the feminist in the family, the person who's interested in different things. A lot of Aquarius energy here. And that's understandable because we have Leo, and the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So that energy could show up for you in your chart. But if not, it's like you're showing up more authentically. You're showing up more creatively, okay? You're becoming more creative with your style. You're becoming more creative with how you express yourself. So again, some of you could be interested in making podcasts. Some people could also be making music here, but you're doing something to express this pain that you're feeling. And it's beautiful because it's going to connect you to other people, that are also experiencing that. And you could be a guide for some people here, because I'm also getting leadership energy, and it literally says leadership on this card right here. Let me show you. You see that? Leadership. So it's like you are a leader for a lot of people. So the things that you had to go through, you know, a lot of these things were really to help you, pal number one. I know it sounds bad to say, but it's like you were meant to be a leader. You were not meant to be in the background. I feel like people have tried to put you in the background, but you're not meant to be a background character, all right? The next card that we have is Scorpio. So Scorpio is that energy of transformation here. So you are transforming. You're learning that you can let go of the past, especially like dark things. You're letting go of like, bad things that have happened to you in your childhood. You're no longer resonating with that story. You're no longer resonating with what happened to you, because you know that you're not what happened to you. You're not defined by your past, okay? Because there's a lot of emphasis on the past, and you're healing and moving on from that. The next card that we have is Taurus, and it literally says resources to maintain. And we were just talking about that. So it's like you're becoming more selfish with your resources, because guess what? Taurus is a stubborn sign. Taurus can be a little bit, greedy, but it's like sometimes you have to do that, not to hurt other people, but to protect yourself, because a lot of people will take from you, especially if they know you're willing to give. And takers have no limit, okay? The next card that we have is the third house. So this deals with communication, community. So you could be posting on a platform here and building a community, okay? Building a community of people who support you. So if you make music, you could be having a music page. You know, if you make podcasts, you could have a YouTube channel. You could even do like SoundCloud or what's the other one called? It's another I don't know if it's Pandora or something, but you know, it's another website where you can post like podcasts and stuff. It's like you're doing things creatively. You're putting your art out there, okay? There's something that you're doing in a creative way. You're doing it more confidently. That's how this energy is being expressed. And then we have the 12th house here. So the 12th house deals with our faith. It deals with spirituality, hidden things. But I feel like you're just realizing that, you know, a lot of things in your life were hidden. But also, this brings me back to that generational trauma because the 12th house is what's hidden, and the generational trauma can be hidden in our family. Like visibly we see it, right? But it's not something that people physically or emotionally recognize because they're so used to being in those patterns that they don't realize that it's a detriment. So you're uncovering the things that are hidden in your family through talking about it. You could even be bringing up things in your childhood that happened. Maybe you're exposing, you know, people in your family who aren't the best types of people, people that, you know, the types of people I'm talking about. Those uncles, you know, that used to do those types of things. You're exposing that. You're exposing the drama in the family, the jealousy in the family. You're exposing the lies of the family. And it's like, you may not even have to do this publicly. It's just something that your energy does when you come around. But also, I feel like it's something that you can see. You're seeing the true colors of certain people in your family, you know? But I feel like you're in good hands, file number one, because with this community, I feel like your community is going to support you. And I feel like you have a lot to offer. So don't let your childhood trauma get in the way of your greatness because you were destined for that, okay? All right. All right, pal number one. Thank you so, so much. I love you. Peace. Okay, pile number two. If you pick pile number two, this is going to be your reading. Okay. All right, pile number two. Let me get you set up real quick. Give me just a second. Get some water. All right. So pile number two. So the planetary energies that you currently embody are Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars. So what this energy is giving me is pile number two, you're unlearning things about yourself. You're unlearning lies about yourself. And it's taking me back to this passage in this book called The Four Agreements. And the four agreements are, I'm not going to say them in the particular order, but just how I know them. So the four agreements are be impeccable with your word, don't assume, don't expect or assume, don't take things personally, and what's the fourth one? So it's don't take anything personally, be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Okay, that's the fourth one. So it's like the second agreement, I feel like you're learning not to take things personally here. And in the beginning of the book, what I like what the author says, he says that 99% of what we believe, 95% of what we believe in our mind are lies. And it's like you're realizing that a lot of what you thought about yourself is not true. With that Pluto energy is coming to an end. You know, you're having a funeral for the old thought processes that you used to have. And with that Mars energy, you're becoming more active. Some of you could be working out, some of you could be, you know, slimming down here, or you could be gaining weight and just getting your body right. You could be getting to a healthy body weight, okay? Some of you could also just be becoming more attractive here physically. So there's something that you're doing. You could be eating right, taking your vitamins. There's something you're taking care of your body. So I could be talking to some athletes here or just some people who like to go to the gym. You may be, you know, just starting to go to the gym and you may be feeling like I'm not attractive. Yes, you are. Okay. Because it's energy. I want y'all to understand something. It's energy. It doesn't matter how you feel like you look on the outside because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You never know who finds you attractive. All right. And then with that Jupiter energy, while you're unlearning, you're learning the truth about you, because Jupiter is connected to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a truth seeker. So you're seeking the truth about yourself. You have a lot of Sagittarius energy, power number 2. Whoever you are, you're a Sagittarius. Like, there's no doubt about it. Some of you here are straight Sagittarius. You could be Sagittarius sun and moon, Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius rising, Mercury in Sagittarius, but there's a Sagittarius stellium in this pile, okay? Even if not, you just radiate a lot of Sagittarius energy, being free spirited. So these could be my hippies here. And you want to know something? Pile number 2, what I thought was interesting was I always intuitively select my images. That's why making these PowerPoints are so important to me, because I had a person tell me that it would be better if my face was just in it, but I'm a visual person. I'm clairvoyant. You know, I have different psychic abilities, but I'm mainly clairvoyant. So I like to visually give you a picture of what your energy looks like. So that's why I pick certain pictures or certain images, okay? And it's weird that I picked this one with the red in the background, because Mars is the red planet. So I just wanted to say that, because I thought that that was really cool, how the divine works, how spirit and God will work through you, you know? But anyways, you have a lot of Sagittarius energy going on, okay? A lot of free spiritness, like you're freeing yourself from so many mental prisons that you used to keep yourself locked in. You know, you're not the same person. It's like you're letting yourself fly. Like, oh my God, pound number 2, there's this song by Tyler the Creator and Kali Uchis, and it's called Find Your Wings. I feel like you found your wings. You found your wings, pound number 2. Some of you could be angelic in a way, like your energy is angelic. I feel like you have been through this, you know, transformation, pile number 2, because it's like you have gone from the underdog to the phoenix. This is the energy of, because I'm seeing a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, literally. You've become the butterfly. You're not the same person you used to be. Like, pile number 2, I feel like this is how your energy is. It's like people don't expect you to be how you are because they're too busy trying to project and put you in a box. So even though pound number 1 had a 12th house energy, I'm feeling a 12th house energy from you, pound number 2. You could have 12th house placements here, but if not, I'm just really picking up an energy of you being somebody who was very reserved into themselves and didn't show a lot. You didn't always show your hand, your cards. And people can assume, because you don't show a lot, that, oh, that's who that person is. You know, you could have a Ferrari and people won't even know because you're driving a Honda, but they assume because they don't see it, you don't have it. So for example, this is how your energy is. It's like you could be listening to a song and people are like, you listen to that, because they assume because of the type of person you are, you're going to listen to this category of music. You know, them trying to put you in a box. And it's like, you can't be put in a box, pound number 2. I feel like you have this spirit that is, because the word rambunctious is coming up. Let's look up rambunctious, because I haven't heard that word in a minute. Rambunctious is, ooh, boisterous. Okay. It's like you're a little wild. And Sagittarius energy is wild. That's what it means, wild. It's like, it's not that you're getting out of hand in that way, rambunctious, but it's like people can't control you. Like they're trying to mold you into something that you're not. And you will never be those things, because you're so free spirited and you're always evolving and growing. With that Jupiter card, I feel like you're very into self-healing, self-development, and learning and growing. Okay. You could also be very lucky at this time. You may be finding money on the ground, or you just notice how things just come to you with more of an ease. Okay. So let's get into these cards. I missed y'all. Okay, so okay, so what are the planetary energies? Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars. Okay, how is it manifesting through Sagittarius? So what I'm getting from this is that you're setting goals and intentions, and it's like with the archer, it's like what I'm seeing is somebody hitting like a dartboard, you know, and you're meeting those goals, meeting those deadlines. So some of you could want to make a vision board, if not, but I feel like some of you are creating your vision and mapping out what you want to accomplish. Okay, you're going with that Mars energy, you're going towards it. You know, you don't matter who's in the way, you don't matter what the competition is to it, you're gonna get there. You know that that your time is coming. And I feel like your time is here, pile number two, because I feel like you have been, this person who has been reserved, but you've had all these gifts and you're coming into a time in your life where you're exposing that more. So you're growing more and you're growing more into who you were always meant to be. And I feel like this is very shocking for people who thought they knew you. Keyword, they thought they knew you. They didn't know you. They knew who you showed. Okay, because you are somebody who is very strategic and you don't just tell people your business. You don't just open up to people you don't know. I feel like you may have used to do that and you learned your lesson. Okay, but for some of you, you've never been that type of person to just open up to people anyway like that, because it's like, I don't know you like that. And you vibrate off energy, power number two. So if somebody's energy is weird, you're not going to be that friendly. You'll be respectful because you give people respect always, regardless, even if you don't like them, but you're not going to be buddy buddy, or you're not going to be super talkative with that person. Okay, so that is how that energy, those planetary energies are, how it manifests. So now let's look at the cards. So you have a lot of Sagittarius energy with the Temperance card being here. This is Sagittarius energy as well. So I feel like there's a poem coming called Pour Out by Raina Biddy. So I had that come up in another reading. So you may be from that same pile, but if not, it's like there's something about you dealing with grief. So some of you could have lost family members here and you were transformed through their passing. Some of you could have lost a grandfather and you were transformed through their passing. Or some of you could have just lost a masculine person in your life, whether they were male, female, or non-binary. Okay, just take what resonates. And it's like your mind has been expanded since that loss. Okay. Because what I'm getting is, like Lauren London is coming up, for example, like how she lost her husband. It's like a loss like that. That was just very painful, but it was very profound and it taught you a lot and it brought you a lot of healing. Okay. So with this Temperance card, you are healing, but also you're learning to balance like what you're showing to people. Like you're learning, like, you know what, I can be open, but I don't have to be super open. So some of you could, be the types, because it's half and half here. Some of you could be the types where you kind of overshare a lot. So with Sagittarius likes to talk and is blunt. So you're learning that I don't have to tell people everything, you know. I feel like, because I'm hearing white lie. I'm hearing white lie. So I feel like some of you are very honest to the point where sometimes you have to tell a white lie. And it's not to just because you're a dishonest person. It's because people don't need to be in your business. Pile number two, I get that people could try to be in your business and you might really try to tell people what's going on, but it's like you're guided here to move in silence with the Temperance card. Like, have balance, balance what you say, balance what you're doing behind the scenes. Like, don't worry about it needing to be seen. I feel like that's probably something you're growing out of. Power number two is trying to prove yourself to people. And it's like, yeah, some of you have lost a family member, because it really got cold in here after I said that. So it's definitely a family member present. But it's like, I just lost my train of thought. It's like you're learning that everybody doesn't need to see what you're doing. They don't need to see the process. And also you're balancing yourself out, you're adding, it's kind of like, because what I'm seeing is somebody adding more vegetables into their diet and then taking something out. It's like you're balancing things out. And I feel like also the scales are balancing in your life, pal number two. So I feel like, oh, you know what's popping up for you? This song by Janae Aiko. It's called Mr. Popular. It's like, who's popular now? That was one of the lines. Look who's popular now. So pal number two, I feel like you're becoming more popular, or you're becoming well known for your gifts that you used to hide. Some of you could be singers here. Some of you could literally sing very well. The 12th house is ruled by Neptune. Neptune is music. So you could be very gifted in music and people didn't know that. And now you're showing yourself and you're shining, and it's so shocking, and I feel like for some of you, okay, take what resonates, because this is for some of you. You're learning not telling people things. Like, you're learning, I don't have to tell people everything. I don't have to be that honest, especially if it's somebody that I know don't like me. For example, it could be a family member you don't know, a family member you know that doesn't like you, a coworker, a colleague, or a in-law, like certain things like that where you don't have to tell that person exactly what you're doing. I'm not encouraging you to just go out and be a liar. That's not what I'm encouraging. What I'm saying is, people don't need to be in your business, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like telling the white lies, like if you're going home, but you really tell somebody, "Oh, I'm about to go to the store. I'll see you later." You know, something like that. But it's just because I feel like you are so like open sometimes, pal number two, and I feel like that's something that you're learning here. So that's a message for some of you. And if for some of you this doesn't even apply, okay? So take what resonates. So the next card that we have here, we have a lot of wands. We have the Ace of Wands. So you're learning that you have the magic wand. You can make things happen in your life, pile number two. You're learning that. We have the King of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy. This is fire sign energy. So if you're not a Sagittarius, you're definitely a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or you just have a lot of fiery energy, okay? Or you can have a red aura here too, okay? Take what resonates. Then we have the Eight of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. So it's like, I feel like you're tackling a lot of things at once, but it's working in your favor. It's working in your favor because it's like you're a master at so much and it doesn't take you much effort. Okay. Cause I'm getting you could be a jack of all trades here, but it's like you're very good in certain things. And I feel like you have underestimated how good you were, pound number two. You're thinking that you need work and you're already good. You could be a singer thinking that, oh, I need to take more singing classes, but you were blessed with a beautiful singing voice already. You just need to believe that. Pound number two, I feel like you could have come from an environment, maybe a small town here. If it doesn't resonate, it's okay. But it's like you come from a place where people try to make you feel like there's something, not enough about you. You're lacking. You can't have this because you're this. It's like people have always tried to make you feel like, no, you're not going to make it to the next level because of this or that. It's like you can't put people in a box. You can't project onto people and try to mold people. Like if you have 12th house placements, this is very typical because people project onto you what they feel about themselves. So if they don't feel like they're capable, they're going to project that onto you and make you feel like that. And I feel like you've come from a place where people have instilled so much doubt and fear, and you're breaking free from that. Hence all this Sagittarius energy, because Sagittarius is about freedom, freedom of expression, freedom to be, and you're being more free here. We got the Seven of Wands. So I feel like there could have been some opposition to you wanting to be free. I feel like pile number two, I feel like you could have dealt with people that were just very possessive of you. It's like people that didn't want to treat you right, but didn't want you to go. And I really get that these could be friendships that you've left, even partners, but I'm really mainly getting friendships. And this could be a group thing that you left, a group of friends. It could even be a trio, but it's like you've had to deal with opposition from people trying to make you feel like you're somebody that you're not. I feel like you've had to fight the war. You've had to fight these battles and these wars, like spiritually with people, emotionally with people, not physically, but I'm really getting like spiritually. You've had to fight these attacks from people because they keep trying to paint you as someone you're not. And I know that fight. That's why I'm so passionate talking about it, because I had to fight to be me, because people have tried to always project things onto me, especially if a friendship ended. Oh, I'm this and that. When I'm no, I've grown past that. I've healed past that. I've looked at that. I'm no longer that person, but people from my past will still want to speak on me as if I'm that same version. And I get the same thing for you, pal number two. It's like you've grown past a lot of shit. Excuse my French, but it's like you've grown past so much BS that a lot of things from your past don't even phase you anymore. You look at them as lessons, you learn from them, and you carry on. And it's like people from the past, they can't do that. They want to still worry about what you have going on and constantly paint you as this person that you're not. So you've had to fight to be who you are. Okay. And I applaud you for that, because a lot of times people just give up and give in to what people think about them. And it's like, no, you define yourself. Power number two, these energies are manifested through you defining yourself. With Sagittarius, with you speaking up for yourself, some of you could have actually spoke up to these people or spoke your truth to these people. Okay. And I feel like that's also shocking because you could be somebody who was usually quiet. I feel like there's a throat chakra activation happening here. We have the 10 of Wands. You're letting go of a burden. Okay. Letting go of a burden, letting go of the burden of what other people think, letting go of the weight, of those lies and those projections because they're not true. I feel like you're somebody who, with that Jupiter card, you use your mind a lot. You think, you're cerebral. So you've always thought that the things that people have projected onto you was true, and it's not. With the Five of Swords here, yeah, you've had to deal with a lot of pain through people trying to paint narratives, okay? And with swords, that's what communication. So this could be through even gossip. I feel like you're a warrior and you're coming into more peaceful waters, okay? Power number two. I feel like you've made it to the other side of a shore. It's like you've left one space that was dysfunctional and now you're spiritually and emotionally and even vibrationally coming to a place that's more peaceful because I'm seeing a peaceful island. Somebody and it's like I just see like flowers and like a person bringing you a flower. So I feel like the universe is going to give you your flowers, power number two, because you put up with a lot of shit for people. You have a lot of wands here, a lot of fiery energy, a lot, and you have Mars. So it's like you had to learn how to armor up. I feel like this is something that you've learn to do for yourself. Like, I don't think that you were always a confrontational person. I feel like you probably shied away from it, but then you just got tired of people picking on you and taking your kindness for weakness. This is my pal of people who are very like, who used to be really, really open. That's why I was getting that energy in the beginning about learning to balance what is being said and what you do behind the scenes, because it's like some of you could have always told people your plans, what you wanted to do, and then they copied you or they mimicked you, and you're learning like, I can't do that. Okay. And for some of you, you already know. So again, like I said, just take what resonates. With the Knight of Swords, you're speaking up for yourself though, quickly. I feel like you're becoming more quick-witted. I feel like you're becoming more protective over yourself because you've been bullied. How number two. And I feel like people always think bullying is the typical, oh, people put you in a locker, they poured milk over your head, they dump your lunch tray on you. Like that's what we see on TV. But bullying can operate in different ways, such as people trying to exclude you, people turning other people against you. That's still bullying. You being actually qualified for something, but people not picking you because they don't like you and they want you to feel bad. That's still bullying. Bullying is gossiping as well and trying to defame someone's character. Bullying doesn't always have to be a physical act. It can be verbal, it could be emotional, and it could be spiritual, because all of this stuff that we do in the physical takes place in the spiritual. So it's like when people are coming at you with bullying, that's spiritual attacks. And a lot of people that are lights, they go through these spiritual attacks. So power number two, you're a light. You went through these spiritual attacks because your light was burning bright. Okay. Especially with Wands energy, it's like your energy, power number two, is like fireworks. Like your energy is beautiful and big. So that's Sagittarius energy because Jupiter is a big planet. Okay. So it's like you have a big energy, you have a big light. And over the years, you've tried to suppress that down and bring that down for other people's comfort, and you can't do that anymore. You got to learn to move in silence if you haven't already. But I feel like pile number two for you is just, I feel like you wonder when is this gonna end? But I feel like when you stop resenting the lessons, then you'll feel the healing. I feel like you resent what has happened to you because you feel targeted, and you were. And it wasn't for why you thought. It wasn't because of something bad about you. It was because of something good about you, okay? It was because of the light. So understand that when you're a light, like when you see street lights outside, you see little bugs on them. That's the same thing with our light. Little bugs will come up and we have the option to open a door, because sometimes it might be a ladybug that want to come through. It might be a beautiful butterfly, a beautiful moth, but we're not going to open the door for rats and roaches, okay? We're not going to open the door for that, for mosquitoes and flies. No, we're not. Okay. So I feel like pile number 2, you're learning to value yourself more. You're learning to be more true to yourself, okay? Some of you could also be wanting to travel more here. You may be actually going on trips and exploring so that you can uncover the depths of your soul, like, and uncover who you are. Some of you may like to travel to like foreign countries, or some of you may be into like different cultures right now, or even deeper into spirituality, okay? Because Sagittarius is that energy of being connected to God, being connected to spirit, much like Pisces energy, but just in a different way. So it's like you're more connected to God now, you know, because you fought these battles, but you weren't fighting them alone. I feel like pile number 2, you're coming into a realization that you were never alone. You didn't fight those battles by yourself. And there's a lot of battles that you didn't even have to fight. The war was already won because spirit was on your side. God was on your side, okay? For some of you, like, I feel like there's these battles that you feel like it bothers you so much. It's like, why do people keep coming for me? And it's like, change your perception to it. You know, you can get to a point where it can really bother you when you're chosen, because that's what I'm getting. You know, when God has chosen you, sometimes people will try to come and destroy you. I've witnessed this firsthand within my life and so many other people that I know are lights. It's like people come around to try to distract you. Don't let people trick you out of a good life. Don't let people trick you out of something golden. Like, there's a song by Cleo Soul, and she's like, don't run away from a life that's golden. You know, much is required, but much is given. Yes, you're going through these trials and tribulations and these, you know, learning these people, you know, and learning how to navigate through these spiritual attacks, but it doesn't define you. These people, like, God is showing you how people are. It's not a reflection of you. Like, it's not about you. Like, sometimes, like, I know some people say that people you meet are a reflection of you, but I disagree to that to a certain extent, because I don't feel like horrible people are a reflection of me or of anybody else, you know, especially when I know I'm moving in love, regardless if it's some unhealed version, because there's no way that that's a reflection of me. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Some people may disagree, take it or leave it. But I just don't feel like pile number 2, you're a reflection of those people, okay? And there's ways you can protect your energy. You can protect your energy through black tourmaline. You can protect your energy through different types of salt, pink Himalayan salt, regular salt, sea salt, carrying it around. You know, having crystals and stones in your left pocket, because that's where the negative energy comes in. You could get some Florida water. You can use sage, Palo Santo, incense. You can set intentions. You could put candles for it. So there are so many ways to protect your energy, pile number 2. So never feel like you're in these situations where you're in these battles alone. Okay. Because while God is assisting you, you could also be doing other things to assist yourself as well. Don't think that this is just the end all be all, because God didn't bring you this far, pile number 2, for you to get this far. Spirit didn't bring you this far for you to get this far. You still have a lot to go and a beautiful life to live. Okay. Let's move on to the final cards. So look what we have again. Sagittarius. Ah, Sagittarius. Okay. So yes, you are, you know, you're understanding that you can expand so much more, because Jupiter is that planet of expansion. So you're understanding that you could expand, but you're also just connecting to your higher self more, connecting more to the 12th house. That's why I keep getting 12th house energy, even though that was in pile 1. So you may resonate with pile 1, but if not, there's a lot of 12th house energy here, being connected to God, being connected to spirit, but also faith. Sagittarius deals with having faith, having optimism that things are going to work out. So these energies are being expressed through you learning how to have faith, learning that things are going to work out, even if things didn't go right, even if you feel like you've been given the short end of the stick. Trust that justice is always going to be served. Okay. So I feel like, let me just start with this one first before we get into that. So with this first house being here, how is it being affected? It's like you're transforming and becoming more of who you want to be. You're being more free. You're doing things that other people wouldn't expect, but it doesn't matter what they expect, because they don't know you like you know you. The next card that we have here is Capricorn, your goals. So you're setting goals for yourself, you know? You're setting goals for yourself and you're achieving those goals, or you're working towards achieving those goals. We have Virgo. It's analyzing, and it says healing power. Okay, so you're learning that those negative, those critical thoughts you used to have don't define you because they were coming from other people. That's why you were overthinking so much about it with that Virgo energy. Okay, and I feel like you're coming out of being in your hermit energy and shining your light more and not being ashamed of who you are. I feel like power number two, if you haven't already, you're going to learn to appreciate and honor your authenticity. I'm hearing, thank God I'm not like the rest. You are not meant to be like the rest, power number two. Even if people try to ostracize you or make you feel like you're weird, understand that the most amazing thing on this planet is being yourself, is showing up as you. You don't have to be a carbon copy of what everybody else is, regardless of what they think, okay? But power number two, you have an X energy, okay? Coming up in this, okay? So before we get into that, let me get this card. So we have Uranus being here. So you're very unique. Okay, you stand out. You're standing out even more. How is this energy being expressed? How is it manifesting? You being more unique. Maybe you like to sing and you're gonna make unique music. I could see you, pound number two, making like alternative music, like SZA, like Janae Aiko. You know, people like Kelsey Lou or Mariba. It's like you're making those types of music like Solange. I see you making something like beautiful like that, okay? Like Nala Saferno, like those types of instrumentals. There's something with you in sound here, okay? Take what resonates, but if not, you should really look into that. Some of you could be interested in like ASMR, or you may make those videos, but there's something here with you in sound and then connecting, because the 12th house is like oneness, right? So you connecting with the collective through that sound. So some of you, like I said, could be singers, okay? But we have the 7th house and we have Libra. And both of these cards are about fairness. So I feel like this X feels like, I know this is not that type of reading. I know that that's not this type of reading, but y'all, this is popping up. There's an X that feel like they didn't treat you fairly. They know they didn't treat you fairly. And I feel like a part of this, I feel like I'm hearing revenge glow up. I feel like some of you literally could have had a physical glow up and your ex is seeing that and wants to come back, but it's like, no, 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 no. But there's an X coming up here. This is not that kind of reading, but if you guys ever wanted me to do those kind of readings, just let me know, because I haven't thought of those kind of readings before, but I would do that. The only readings that I don't like doing is stuff like, what is your haters thinking? Because we don't care about that, okay? We pay the best. Anyways, there's an X here, okay? And this is somebody that now they want to cooperate, okay? Now they want to be diplomatic. Now they want to be fair, but it's like, I feel like pile number two, the scales are balancing, like I was saying earlier. And it's like you're coming into a time where things are more fruitful and abundant, because I'm literally seeing somebody with a bowl of fruit and eating grapes. It's like you're going to have a fair deal. You're going to meet people in your life that's fair, but there's this X trying to come through. Don't let this person back in, because I feel like that person, like, them treating you the way they did helped you to level up because you realized what you deserved. Because I feel like this ex, like I was saying in the beginning, I did say that it could have been an ex or friends, but this ex is coming back up. Libra also could deal with friendships. So yes, this was other people trying to put things in your head. And it's like you're going to meet better people who put beautiful affirmations in your head. They're going to tell you that you're capable, that you're worthy. Okay, but it really just starts with you, pal number two. And I feel like you're learning to speak to yourself and you're transforming the way you speak to yourself. You're transforming your anger and not taking it out on yourself, but using it to fuel your creative abilities, such as music, if you like making music here, or just being artistic. Maybe you like making a clothing brand or art or jewelry. There's something that you're going to do and it's very unique, and you need to express yourself because it will help the collective as well. Okay, but yeah, pile number two, you are not what they say you are. You were never those things. So continue to give yourself grace as you heal and let go of what you never was and accept who you've always been. Thank you. Peace. Let's move on to pile number three. Okay, last but not least, pile number three. planetary energies are affecting you. Let me move these out the way for us. Okay. Get some time. Okay, about number 3. Okay. So, or I just looked at the time, 717. 717 could be significant, okay? It's an angel number. So let's see what planetary energies are affecting you. So we have Venus, Saturn, and Uranus, and how is it manifesting through Taurus? So some of you are learning the value of intimacy, but also the value of money, and you're releasing your fears surrounding intimacy and money. So some of you could be healing from a breakup here, healing from a divorce, but just healing from bad relationships, bad friendships. Some of you could be healing from bad female friendships. I don't think that's talked about enough. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like people think that relationships are the only things that could be detrimental, like romantic relationships, but platonic relationships could be just as painful. So you could be healing from friendships with women that could have hurt you, that could have been critical of you, that could have judged you for being unique. You could have been surrounded by, people that don't really appreciate uniqueness, or they were carbon copies. Okay. And when you're dealing with carbon copies, they have this idea that everybody is supposed to look the same. I mean, that's the thing with a carbon copy, because they're a carbon copy. So it's like I feel like I'm getting like you were too real, pile number 3, for these people and for this ex. Okay. Because pile number 2 has some of that too. So maybe that's like leading into this. So if you chose pile number 2 and you're here, then hello. This may resonate with you. Okay. um what else did I want to say? I feel like you're learning self-love, but also self-discipline, and you're learning to be free spirited. You're learning with that Uranus energy, you're learning like, you know what, I want what I want. I feel like pile number 3, you're somebody who's very like unconventional. You're not somebody who's looking for the norm. So I feel like that's why certain people can misunderstand you, because it's like you're not looking for the norm, and you're not looking for something that's traditional either. Okay. So let's get into these cards. So first, these planetary energies. I got it right this time, because I usually would try to say how it manifests before I say the planetary energies. But yeah. So we have Venus, Saturn, and Uranus. So these are the planetary energies, how it's manifesting through Taurus. So you could be changing up your style. You could also be feeling more at home in your body. Okay. You could be feeling more comfortable with yourself. Okay. Because Taurus is the sign of comfort and pleasure. So some of you could be, exploring your sexuality more. You could be coming more into union with what you like in the bedroom. Okay, take what resonates for some of you. Okay. That's for some of you. But also you're learning like investing your money in yourself. So you could be doing self-care, going to places that you never did, like getting massages, getting waxes. Some of you are really into like the body. So you could be changing your diet here, going vegan, going on a plant-based diet. But Taurus is an earth sign, so it's like you're connecting with the earth more. That's how these planetary energies are manifesting, through you connecting more with earth. And you could be making more money. I feel like you may have thought that these, you know, because I'm getting that there's been an ending of some type of relationship, or there's been an ending maybe for a few years, and you could be pondering like, was it meant to be, or was I wrong for ending it? Was that person wrong for ending it? I feel like it was meant to end, because after that situation, it brought you abundance, and it taught you what true abundance was. I feel like you used to think that you had to put up with a lot of BS to stay in people's lives, and you're learning the value of your presence. Pound number 3, your presence is valuable, and you're learning that your access to your energy is a privilege. Everybody is not for you, and you're not for everybody. And I feel like you're going to be at peace with that. I feel like sometimes it bothers you, pound number 3, because you're like, why don't people like me? Like, I'm fun, I'm chill, I'm cool, I'm respectful, I'm giving. I'm not a hater. What is it? It's nothing about you. It's just Some people are just not for you. Rejection can be protection. Some people's energies you don't need to be around because their spirit could drain you to the max. Okay. Their spirit could contaminate your good energy and you don't need that. Okay. So it's manifesting through you also being a little bit more stubborn. Okay. So if you don't want something, you don't want that, because we know that Taurus is a fixed sign. So when fixed signs say they don't want something, they don't want it. They're not changing their mind. So you could be setting like boundaries in your relationships, moving forward, like new friendships and relationships where you're not budging. So if you have a boundary in a relationship on loyalty, that's what it is. Okay. And if somebody breaks that or oversteps that, the relationship is over. There is no going back. There is no, oh, can we get back together? No, it's you violated that boundary, it's over with, because you know better. Like you're becoming, with that Saturn card, you're becoming more strict with the people in your life. Like you're no longer letting things slide. I feel like pile number 3, you probably used to be somebody that let things slide because you wanted to get along with people. You wanted peace, you wanted harmony, but you realized that you were setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm, and you're no longer doing that. Okay. Let's get into the cards. So the first card that came out for you was the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like your life took a turn for the best. I feel like you're learning more with this Taurus energy, your value, your worth. Okay. And I feel like once you put in that energy into the universe, because I feel like you connected to your divine feminine energy, that's what changed the whole trajectory, because now you're at balance. Okay. Because you could have always been somebody who operated in your masculine. That's why you were so giving, because masculine energy is what? It's the provider, it's the giver. So you were constantly giving and not receiving, but you've learned to give pleasure to yourself. Okay. And you've learned to receive. Okay, because Taurus is a feminine energy already. So you stepped into your divine feminine energy, whether you're male, female, or non-binary. Okay, take what resonates with this Wheel of Fortune. It's like you spent that little wheel and you got something good. Have you ever seen those, like, it might pop up on your phone where it's like spin this wheel to like win a free coupon? It's like you did that energetically and you won something beautiful in your life that has changed it. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune, things have changed, and if you feel like things aren't going to change, they are changing. The more that you're loving yourself and stepping into that divine feminine energy of receiving, the more that things are going to come to you without you having to do much. Okay. Okay. So the next card that we have is the Two of Cups. So this is the relationship aspect that kept popping up. Okay. You're learning who's for you and who's not for you. And you're also learning that what you're asking for is not a lot. I feel like pile number 3, you could have dealt with exes and made it seem like you're doing too much by trying to set boundaries. You're doing too much by trying to communicate. How am I doing too much? It's like you're laughing at it now because you're realizing that it's not doing too much. Because if you want a connection that is filled with harmony, we have to have some type of boundaries. We can't step on each other's toes. I feel like also you could have been talking about communication with this person and they were like, no. I feel like this is a person who could have given you the silent treatment or didn't really want to talk to you, or if they did, like they dry texted you until they wasn't mad at you anymore and you were just like, I'm tired of immaturity. With this Saturn card, you're becoming more mature in your life. Therefore, you want more mature people in your life. Okay. With the Three of Wands, it's like you're planning what you want, and you know that it can come in many different ways. Okay. You know that whatever, I feel like you know that things can show up for you in different ways, because I feel like you used to be somebody who used to wait for manifestations or wait for things to happen in a particular order, but I feel like you're open to things coming to you. You're open to receiving. So that's you being in that divine feminine energy. With the Nine of Wands here, it's like you're no longer trying to, you know, feel paranoid in your connections with people. Feel like it's like you don't want to feel like you're giving too much, and you don't want to feel like you're giving to people who are deceiving you. Because I feel like you've had connections in the past where you literally felt like people were deceiving you, but you still gave them love. Because I'm hearing Judas. Okay. Even if you're religious here, it's like there's something about Judas energy in your life, like you being the Jesus archetype, like giving to people who you know are betraying you, but it's like you are the type of person that's like, well, I don't have the proof. I don't have the proof. Like you could have been too logical, pile number 3, but it's like now you're learning to tap into your intuition, because intuition is divine feminine energy. And it's like with the Nine of Wands, it's like I'm sorry, y'all. It's a lot going on in my way. That's why I pause like that. But with the Nine of Wands, it's like you're no longer wanting to be paranoid about things that don't matter, people that don't matter. So you don't want to be in relationships where you feel like somebody's betraying you. You don't want to be in friendships where you feel like that. You know, I feel like you could have had female friends that did betray you, and it's like you could feel the vibe, but you didn't know if it was for sure. Because path number three, I feel like you may not be the type of person that approaches stuff because you don't want to assume things about people. So that's why you take time. Like if you peep something, you kind of give people the benefit of the doubt. Power number three. But you're realizing that I don't need people in my life who I have to question. If I have to question you, if I have to guess where we stand, you don't need to be in my life. I don't need to be your friend. You don't need to be my boyfriend, my girlfriend, etc. Okay. With the moon being here, it's like, yes, you're more in that feminine energy. Like, okay, it is expressed everywhere, okay, because the cat is here. Cats are also feminine energy. We have the chariot. So I feel like things are changing in your life fast. Okay, things are coming in fast. You could be thinking literally like, oh, I want a salad, or oh, I want a grilled chicken sandwich. You could be getting like the healthy kind where you putting like lettuce, tomatoes, all that good stuff. You could be putting like avocado on it. Avocado was really good on like sandwiches and stuff. It took me a while to get into it, but yeah. But I feel like you're doing things where you're eating healthy, and it's like you're seeing how good is flowing in your life really fast. So good things flow in, good news, and you just see like goodness. So you could be experiencing like people being kind to you, like people holding the door open for you, people complimenting you. I feel like you're feeling loved by the universe because you're a loving person. I feel like pal number three, like you're really loving. You have a Neptunian energy, so you could be a Pisces here, but it's like the way that you love people is like you give them the benefit of the doubt. Like you don't think that people are out to get you or hurt you, but it's like you've learned your lesson, and that's why the wheel is turning in your favor, also giving you blessings, pile number three, because I feel like you were so honest in connections with people who were playing you, and it's like you had an inkling that something was off, but you just didn't know what it was. Okay, because this is that energy of having friends sleeping with your man, or just having friends like trying to mess with your ex. This is that energy. That's why I'm kind of like side eyeing it. I'm doing my eyes like that because it's like it's that energy. I know this energy. I've had female friends like this. So it's like an energy of like, why would you even do something like that? But some people are like that. I really can't explain it to you, pound number three. Some people like to sleep with their friends, partners. Okay. And I don't know why, but I guess it feels like they won or they conquered them or they had something that you had. A lot of times this is jealousy. And I feel like the universe is, bringing you love because you've experienced hate from people that were supposed to love you or said that they loved you. The next card that we have is the Six of Wands. So good things, are coming, victories are coming, justice is coming, okay? There's a lot of things that you need to be proud of in your life, pound number three, because I feel like you have imposter syndrome. Stop thinking that you're not as good as you are. You are. I feel like you have your worth attached to how people have treated you, and you also have your worth attached to money. You're not defined by how much money you have, pound number three. You're not defined by any of that. Okay. You're not. You get to define yourself, and through you learning to love yourself, you're going to understand that money is an energy. It's connected to, you know, literally how we feel about ourselves, our root chakra, all of that. It's not a reflection of our value, though. How much money you have in your bank account is not reflected to how much your value is as a person. Okay. And you're learning that. Okay. And I feel like it's something that maybe you grew up thinking. You could have grown up in poverty, or even if you did, you just grew up in a family with money where you were just always taught that money is everything and money defines me. Maybe you come from a place where people only hang out with you if you have a certain amount of money, or people only want to deal with you if you have a certain amount of money. So you're learning to detach your value from money because the two are not synonymous. Okay. The next card that we have is the death card. So I feel like you've had to dead a lot of situations because I'm hearing the song by Kali Uchis, You're Dead to Me. And she was like, I don't know what you've been told, but I am not your enemy. But if there's one thing that I know, is that you ain't a friend of me. So it's like she was saying, you're not my enemy, but you're not a friend to me. I'm getting that you've had to let go of a lot of friendships, and these are not people that you consider enemies. Like, you still have love for them, but you know that they they contaminate your energy field with their evil eye, with them doing things behind your back, with them trying to sleep with your partner, or just trying to sabotage what you have. Okay. But it doesn't matter because look, you got the magician. So you've been able to manifest things. You've been able to bring things forth. So you could be thinking like, "Oh, I want, this sandwich," and then somebody actually brings it to you. "Oh, I want this perfume," and then it actually you see it on sale for $1. Like, there's a lot going on with things like that. There's a lot with bringing things forth quickly, bringing things forth, because we have the wands here, and we have the chariot. So it's like things coming forth quickly, and you have a lot of major arcanas. You literally have 5 major arcanas here. So this lets me know that this is divinely orchestrated and divinely guided by the universe. So let's look at these cards here so we can get more information on how these energies are manifesting in your life, pile number 3. So let's start with Aquarius. So these are friends and Aquarius is about the 11th house, right? So these are friends and exes. And I feel like more so for you, it's friends, letting go of these crowds that you have to be in, standing out and being unique and different, because it literally says your vision. What's new and different? Unconventional. You're unconventional, okay? You're not very conventional. And that's a good thing. Okay. The next card we have is Aries. And I feel like followed by that death card, Aries is like that new beginning. We literally right now, we have our north node in our south node we have our north node in Aries right now and our south node in Libra. And you literally have in these cards here, let me show you. South node and north node. So I feel like right now is a very prominent time for you to be staying in your divine feminine energy and allowing things to flow to you. Okay. I feel like you have hit the jackpot. And this is a time for you to use this energy to bring forth the things that you want in your life. If you want stability in your life, manifest it. If you want more financial stability in your life, manifest it, okay? Because I feel like you got it. Okay. There's a song coming up for you. It's called Women. I'm gonna have to put it in the description, but there was a line by Cleo. So she said, all action, no talk. So yeah, all action, no talk. So it's like you don't have to do much for it to come through. Literally, all action, no talk. So I mean, I know that's not what that means in that context, because they're saying like you moving in silence and you getting it done without saying anything. But in this sense, what I'm sensing and picking up energetically is that you know this is something, these manifestations aren't things you're going to have to work extremely hard for, because when you're in that feminine energy, it's naturally going to flow to you and be attracted to you. Okay. But yeah, I feel like you're entering a new beginning with the North Node being in Aries. It's like you're entering a time of rebirth. You're getting to know yourself more. You're loving yourself. Okay. I feel like you're loving who you are after you've been taught to hate yourself. Some of you are very, very beautiful here. And it's like you've been conditioned to believe that you're not beautiful because you've been around people who could have been jealous of your beauty. But you need to see that you're beautiful. Okay. You are beautiful and your energy is beautiful. Okay. You're becoming more beautiful inside and out, and it's happening so you can see it physically. Okay. The next card that we have is Pisces. So, like I said, some of you could have been a Pisces, but with this energy here, it's like you're very loving and very kind. And I feel like with this Pisces energy, I just said that. I don't know why I said it twice. I said, I feel like with this, I feel like with this Pisces energy. Oh, that's interesting because Pisces is 2 fish. So that wasn't a coincidence. Okay. That's why I said it twice. But I'm getting that you're becoming more creative, more imaginative. But I feel like understanding that you can't have illusions about people. You have to see people for who they really are, not who you want them to be or who you expect them to be. But I feel like you're also, with this Pisces energy, you're daydreaming and you're thinking about the things you want for yourself more. So tap more into that Pisces energy of visualization, of seeing the things that you want for yourself. With the North Node being here, it's about our destiny, about where we want to go. I feel like you're learning what you want to do in your life, and you're with the South Node, you're leaving behind what doesn't matter. Some of you could literally have like a Leo North Node and an Aquarius South Node, okay? Because it's like you're leaving behind people that don't serve you, people that get in the way of you being authentic to yourself, people that get in the way of your autonomy, okay, and try to convince you to do something that the group likes. But you're separating from the group and becoming more aligned with yourself. It's like you're leaving the 11th house and going to the 5th house. Some of you could have your North Node in the 5th house, where you're meant to be creative in this lifetime. I have a lot of creatives in all my tarot readings. I attract creative people, so I really get somebody here is very creative, very fashionable. Okay, you could have a clothing line, but there's something with fashion here. We have the 10th house. The 10th house is about status. So it's about success, become a person of power and status. Okay. So it's like you are moving into status in your life because of your creativity, because of the things that you do. I feel like some of you could meet a partner who's also creative like you. Okay. Somebody who's also in the creative arena like you, and you might work together with this person. Okay. Because I get that the more you love yourself, the more that you're going to be more attractive. And then with the divine feminine energy, you're going to call in, your energy is going to bring in a counterpart, a divine counterpart. That's what I'm picking up, a divine counterpart coming in. Okay. The next card that we have is Pluto. Okay. So again, that's that death energy. So it's like you're letting go. You know, you're also letting go of hyper independence. Like, you know that you don't have to do things on your own with that Aquarius energy. It's like, you know that you still need support, but you know you need the right support. You need the right people, you know. I feel like you're learning discernment more and learning that you can't just put your trust in everybody. And I feel like you've been cooking more meals at home. You may used to be somebody who ate out a lot because you were super busy or because you just didn't feel like cooking. But I feel like because you've been pouring more into yourself, you've been pouring more into yourself. So it's like you're eating better and you're taking care of yourself, and it's being reflected through your skin. You could have your skin clearing up, your hair growing. You could be eating things with biotin, with vitamin C, vitamin E, potassium, you know, sodium, things like that. You could be getting your iron, you know. You could be eating cherries. You could be eating fruit here. Some of you could be making smoothies in the morning or making like cauliflower wings. Some of you could be eating vegan. Okay. With the 6th house being here. See the food. But I feel like you're also learning that your creative talents can be of use. It's like all of my pals are learning that in some way. But I feel like some of you here could be a chef. You could cook really good here for other people. Maybe you like watching like Gordon Ramsay, and you may daydream about, oh, I want to be like that, or I want to do something like that, but have your own unique twist to it. Or you could want to make like mukbangs and have your own unique twist. I feel like there's something that you can do creatively that everybody else does, but it's going to be different when you do it. It's going to be different when you do it. Okay. There's something with food here, something with food. You could like to cook. And I feel like you can make your cooking videos, like you could make cooking tutorials maybe on TikTok. And the way you make it makes it more interesting. You could have the visuals, the sound effects, everything, you know, making people wish that they were there. Okay. But yeah, I feel like you're letting go of people that don't serve you and being more strict on what you will allow in your life and in your connections. Okay. You're taking care of your body here. You're with the Pisces, it's like you're learning that I have to have some boundaries. I can't have no boundaries, you know. But yeah, pile number 3, that is how those energies are manifesting for you. Thank you for tuning into this reading. I know that it's been a while, and I just appreciate the people who stay, like, regardless. You know, there are some people who will try to, like, unsubscribe from my channel because I haven't done a reading, but let me tell you something. I have been subscribed to so many different tarot readers, and I don't subscribe because they don't post. Like, I don't unsubscribe, I mean, because they don't post, because they're human, and I know they could be going through something, you know, or they could just not have the energy. You know, it takes a lot of energy to do a tarot reading. So you have to have that energy. So I appreciate all of you who work with me, who stay around, even if I take a month or, you know, 2 weeks to a month to make a reading. So thank you so, so much. And I hope that you all have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever time you're watching this. Peace.